Welcome to summer school, everyone. I am so excited to be here today to talk to you about how to go from being a content creator to a business owner that makes money. Today is day one of our Influencers Boot Camp. I'm bringing back the original boot camp that I always did a couple years back. And I'm so excited to share with you because so much has changed in the last 5 years since we first launched our first boot camp. So today we're going to dive in. We're going to talk pretty intensely about going from a content creator into a CEO mindset. And I'm just curious, I would love to hear in the comments below, how many of you put a 3 in the comments if you're, oh, sorry, hold on. Give me just a sec. There we go. Sorry, I had my YouTube going in the background as well. So I'm so sorry. Let's just see if we can find, there we go. Perfect. Put a 3 in the comments if you can find, or if you feel like you are somebody who has created content, but you're not actually making money from it. So if that's you, then this is the class for you today. And actually this week, I want to share with you and show you how I went from a content creator into an income producer with online and sharing content. So yes, we still need to create content, but it's so important for us to find ways to monetize what we're doing. And so whether you are a coach, a network marketer, a small business owner, in fact, I would love to hear in the comments below what type of a business owner you are. There are lots of different types that are trying to learn how to monetize their influence. And I want to hear from you. So tell me what your business is in the comments below so we can cheer you on. And it also gives me a good indication of what exactly I should be teaching, because I am a course creator. I've done over almost $2 million in sales in course creation. I'm an affiliate marketer. I've done over $10 million in sales for affiliate marketing. I'm a network marketer. I've done millions and millions of sales, and we've brought in over 10,000 people to buy our product in network marketing. I also, I'm a marketing agency owner. So I take personal clients and businesses, practices. We help them build out their systems. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different abilities to share how to build out specific systems. I absolutely love it. And I'm glad you're here. And I want to hear in the comments exactly what your business is so that I can make sure and create content around that to help you build out the proper systems in place. So today, as we go through this, I want to share with you kind of my process. And I'm actually going to do a day 2 and 3. And actually every week this month, I'm going to be live sharing different ways that you can monetize your influence, whether you're in network marketing, whether you're a coach, a course creator, an agency owner. I'm going to go live and show you how to set up some of those systems. I'm also going to be offering this month my Influencers Academy. I'm going to show you how to get this absolutely free. This is a $6,000 academy that you can get absolutely free this month as you watch these live. So you're going to learn how to do that. So come back tomorrow and Thursday at noon, and I will be live for you to see some of the trainings that we've got. And like I said, please comment below. Tell me what you're looking for, the help that you're looking for, so that I can create very curated content for you. So I wanted to start out talking a little bit about a trip I recently took. I recently went to Seoul, South Korea. In fact, I just got back a couple days ago. To be quite honest, I'm kind of exhausted. I'm still on Seoul time, which is so their night is our day is their night. It was so much fun. And it was actually a spur of the moment trip. It was something that just popped up suddenly. And we decided that we were going to jump in and head to Korea. It was me and my daughter. She's actually fluent in Korean. She's lived there for a couple years. So I felt pretty confident, like we could just book a trip and not have to worry about a ton. Now, when we decided to book this trip, we booked it 9 days before we were supposed to jump on a plane and leave for 11 days. And I was like, hey, there's so many TikToks and YouTube videos and Instagram reels about Korean skincare and hair care and like all the things. In fact, like, doesn't my hair look soft and silky? Yes, that's because I went and had a Korean treatment done. But my first thought was, I want to create content around this trip. This is perfect. It's kind of like a trending thing right now. And now that I've become an empty nester, I'm really wanting to go do a little more travel content. Even though we do marketing content, we do wellness content. I'm like, you know what? Travel will be fun too, because we travel all the time. We've got like 4 more trips this year that are coming up. And so I thought, you know what? For the very first time, I'm actually going to put into play what I teach with a brand new niche. And it's not like the very first time, but what I mean, the very first time for this actual niche, because I just this year in May, I did the same thing, started actually this channel. And within the first 30 days, I had $100,000 of brand contracts and I had under 150 followers. And so I don't tell any of this to brag, but I tell you this to give you perspective that this can be you. Okay. When you shift from content creator to a CEO that's really thinking about, how do I monetize this? Everything shifts and changes, and you're able to monetize very quickly. You don't have to have like crazy amounts of followers. You don't like none of that. Yes, it's helpful and it will get you bigger brand deals, but it's not actually 100% necessary. And so, yeah, so I jumped all in and I was like, you know what? I'm going to monetize this trip because I'm going to create the content, and I want to, beyond like the monetization that I'll get from the actual content I've created just from Instagram and Facebook, I wanted to create some brand deals. And so within about 30 minutes of starting, so I did a little bit of research and I started sending actually Instagram DMs to the companies that I wanted to connect with. I started getting brand deals coming in for this trip that was happening in 9 days. Like, isn't that insane? And it was so fun. It's so fun. And it was all different things that were coming in. Now, I didn't take all of the brand deals. I only took 2 of them because I didn't want the whole trip to be like solely focused on work. And so I chose the top 2 that I wanted. And it was so fun. It's so fun to be able to get brand deals while I'm traveling. Now, I tell you this also because I have 0 videos on travel. This is a brand new thing, but I do have a few videos, obviously I've got one of my channels that's all about health and wellness. And so when I reached out to these companies, I focused in on how I have been teaching health and wellness, and obviously good skincare and hair care is something that's very important with your health and wellness. And they were all in. So it doesn't even have to be that you have to have like the perfect channel. It really, what you need to do is learn the process. And that is what I'm going to teach you this week. You're probably like, Mandy, tell me exactly what you did. And so I'm going to show you what I did over this week in order to get that. So twice this year, I have started in brand new, either a brand new channel or a brand new niche. And within the first couple days, I was able to secure some brand deals. And the reason why that's so important is because we don't just want to be stuck in the creator's trap. And that's what I like to call it. It is a trap, right? We get to this point in our content creation kind of realm, and we're just like, gosh, I was there. I know. And the reason why I call it a trap is because I have been there, done that, and I know how it feels. And I was stuck there for years where I was like, I'm creating really great content, and I just I want to be able to monetize this. And I will tell you, I actually feel like the content I was creating before probably was a higher quality in the terms of I was like really putting my time and effort into it versus now when I create content. um, it's still great quality, but I don't necessarily put as much creative juices into it because I understand the concept of it's really more about uh, making that connection with your audience than having it be perfectly curated. So please, 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 if you learn nothing else from today's lesson, it is if you're feeling stuck, we have to change something. If you like, I do not want you stuck in the creator trap. uh it's important to be a creator, but you don't want to be stuck there where you're not doing anything except creating content. It literally will suck your soul. It will make you feel like, um why am I doing this? Is there any other way that I could be doing this? And so I'm going to show you this week how to get out of that creator's trap and exactly what you need to do to shift that mindset, from a content creator into a CEO. And it's going to be amazing. I'm super, super excited about this. So let's go from there. Let me just pull my notes up. I actually love just like talking off the cuff, and obviously I have been for the last little bit. But I also have notes that keep me on track, and I want to make sure that I honor your time. These couple days that we've got going on here, and actually all of September, they're not about theory, they are about transformation. And that's one reason why I want to see in the comments what exactly it is that you are looking for right now. What are you wanting to learn about? Where are you feeling like you're stuck in your business, so that I can help facilitate that transformation and hopefully give you a little bit of inspiration. And so drop a why in the comments of why you are watching, and what you're wanting for your business there. Now, okay, we talked about the creator trap and just that constant hustle into very little consistent income. And the truth is, if you only create, you're building somebody else's platform. And if you own your own business and you own ownership in it, and you really start focusing in on how to monetize it, you actually begin building your legacy. This is something that I talk about a lot with our clients, is you don't want to be building someone else's business and just being like free advertising for them. You get to be your own hype person. And a lot of times, I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, how we are, so many of us, in fact, put the word brand deal below if you are somebody who wishes that they could like figure out how to get some brand deals. And a lot of times what happens is we want a brand deal so bad, but we end up kind of like pigeonholing ourselves in that space and not really even knowing how to get a brand deal because we're just creating content for somebody else. We're creating content for their product, and it's not bringing any results. And so we want to get out of that and into CEO mindset. So how do we make that shift? How do we make the shift from hobbyist, from content creator into a CEO? And this is where I want to talk a little bit about some of the mindset shifts that you need to have in order to get to that CEO mindset. And I want you to think about, like, do you know any CEOs? What are they like? What are some of their qualities? And I actually would encourage you to start studying CEOs and figuring out, okay, what in fact, there's a podcast I listen to. I want to say it's like it's a CEO podcast, and it's where the person like interviews CEOs and like their mindset and what they are passionate about. And so it's important to first start with this, and then we can move into the actual action steps that we need to take in order to get to that goal that we're wanting. So the first non-negotiable, in fact, let me just add this in. And we're going to go. So 3 non-negotiables for business owners. The very first one is to have vision. Know exactly where you're headed. This is so very important. And I want you to think about if you know me, I love talking about sports. I want you to think about any of the sports teams that you love. They all have a huge playbook to pull from. Like, it's not just like one plan for the game coming up. In fact, this weekend we were at a college football game, and it was incredible to me. There was actually a freshman quarterback who it was his very first game, and he like won the game like crazy. But I sat there and I thought, gosh, mentally, how did this like child, essentially, he's like just graduated high school, how did he get to this point where he could play in front of 67,000 people and not break down? Like, just think about that. And in fact, at one point I leaned over to my husband and I was like, how do you think he's handling this pressure going from like, a high school game that's got a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000, to 67,000 people like cheering in the stands, and then also being able to win that first game that he plays like in like that big stage. Like, how do you get to that point? And part of that is having a vision, like knowing what you want to do. And with that vision, having a playbook. So it's not just like, oh, this is what I want to do, but it's like prepping for that vision. It's your having your plan and also having a plan B. Like, have you ever felt like you have had a goal or a something that you wanted to do, and something gets in the way of it, and you're like, I guess that's it. Like, we're done. That's not having a vision. That's having like a wish and like hoping, but not necessarily being able to push through it. And so a very important thing if you're starting to think as a CEO is, first of all, forward thinking and knowing like, this is where I want to get to, but also having the resilience to make it through. Like, if you really want to be in the big leagues and be a master content creator that is running a big business or running any kind of a business that's bringing money in, I want you to think about this quarterback that jumped into this game, who maybe had played in front of 1,000 people before, and went from 1,000 to 67,000 people in the stands, screaming and yelling and like having opinions, and also being televised on national television on ESPN. Like, think about like, how do you go from something like that to 67,000, 67 times the pressure that you had before? And that is by having a vision, and with that vision, having a plan that you could follow through, and understanding what that how to build resilience. And part of building resilience is knowing that there's plan A, plan B, plan C that you're going to go through. And if plan A isn't working, you can pivot. And it's knowing that you're not going to give up. If you have a vision instead of a wish, if you have a wish, it's like, oh, it didn't happen. Okay, walk away. To me, like, a wish is not having the responsibility. It's like, I'm not taking responsibility for my goals, because if I do, then it's going to be my fault if I fail, versus having a vision where you're like, we are doing this. Like, this is what's happening, and understanding that every single person who has succeeded has failed over and over and over again. But it's just a matter of mastering what you're going to do, and in that process, like, knowing that you're not a master like yet. It's coming. It's part of that. So know where you're headed. The second thing that you need in order to become that CEO is systems. Save time and scale. So what are the systems that you need? And the way that I identify the systems that I need are, first of all, I have to identify, how can I gather more people? And if I were to, like, I want you to ask yourself this. If you were to gather some people, would it stress you out? Do you feel ready for it? Or would you be like 100%, like, this is amazing and I've got what it takes to scale this? I've seen this over and over again as a content creator, as a business coach, as a network marketer, as an affiliate marketer. If you do not have the systems in place, there's a subconscious thing that's going on in our brains that's saying we cannot take on more. And so we don't. And so we sabotage ourselves. We quit, we give up, we like do all of these things where we're just like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's not working. This isn't going to work for me because I am not ready. And I've also seen people who are building systems out who are like, oh, I can't do anything until the system is complete. And I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it's time to map out the systems that you need, take action and build those systems as you go. Don't wait until it's perfect. Perfect is, or there's the saying that says, perfect is good, done is better. And I love this quote. And then this actually changed my business for me, because when I learned that it doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning, I can just get like the basics done and then I can revamp and rebuild as I'm going. That's what we need. So you need to save time by building out some systems. And this week, I'm going to show you how to build out successful systems that can give you that clout, that clarity, that organization, everything that you need to succeed in this process. And so don't allow overwhelm. A lot of times people will, like, I've heard this over and over again. People will say, oh, I just don't have the skills. I don't have the ability. And you're basically putting that into existence. If you're like, yeah, I'm not good at this, I can't do this. Like, that's what you're telling yourself and your subconscious. And that's your vision for that time. And so while sometimes it can be overwhelming to build systems out, so I often will say it's like, learning a new language. It's necessary. It's like it's the same as if you were to start a business and open up a brick and mortar. You'd have to learn things along the way. And so be sure that you're talking kind to yourself in this process. Um, I want you to breathe belief into your system instead of overwhelm and I can't do this and it's not possible. It is possible. And you get to be the first person that believes in your dreams. But if you can't even believe in your dreams, how do you think other people are going to believe in your dreams? It's going to be very hard for them to believe in the dreams if you cannot believe in them. And so having that vision and then understanding that as part of having that vision is you're going to be learning along the way and failing, but you're going to be getting back up and going again. And I saw a reel a couple weeks ago that, and I'm sure you've probably seen this because I've seen it over and over again, but it said something like, imagine if a toddler or a baby, when they were beginning to walk, they kept falling over and they were just like, it's not worth it. And they just like never learned to walk. And the crazy thing is like, and like, if you think about it, babies learn how to walk. It's like, that's not something that they like don't learn how to do. They all eventually succeed. And that's exactly what I want you to think about with your business and being online is you have this vision and you look up to people. And I think of this with babies, like they watch people walking. And so they're like, I'm going to walk too. And they stand up, they fall down. They stand up, they fall down. I had a child who had an extra large head when he was born. And so when he was learning how to walk, he had so many goose eggs on the top of his head because he was top heavy. So he would like stand up and just fall over and like end up with a goose egg on his head. But guess what? He still learned how to walk. And even though it was painful, and it was hard for me to watch, like I would see him stand up from across the room and I'd be like, oh no, like don't fall. It obviously I wanted him to be successful because he's that much more independent. And so if you are having feelings of feeling like I can't do this, I'm not sure if I'm smart enough, I want you to think of yourself as this baby in business. And no matter what, you're going to succeed. You are going to learn how to walk. And that means looking up to other people who are doing what you want to do and then getting back up every single time you fall. So the third step in the third non-negotiable that every CEO business owner has is ownership. Ownership in the business that you have. Own your list, own your assets, own your voice. Do not give these away. And this is what I see so often with content creators. They give away their list. They don't even choose to build a list. Like, I was that person. So I can totally speak to this. They don't even choose to build their own list. For 9 years, I posted content and I did not have an email list. In fact, if you get my emails and you read through them, this will be a familiar story. But 2 weeks ago, right before I went to Korea, I was at a birthday party and I met up with another YouTube creator. He has 4,000 more subscribers than I do on my YouTube channel. And he has made very little money on YouTube because he hasn't known how to shift from creator to a business owner that it has a CEO mindset. And his content is incredible. Like, can I just tell you, it is incredible. He is very creative. He's actually a photographer by trade. And so you can imagine like his videos are going to be way better than mine, where I'm not a photographer. I don't have that creative eye. But the strategy has been a struggle for him. And that is why I'm glad you're here, because strategy is my strength. I might not be the best at creating amazing videos, but I can tell you this much. I love thinking through how to help business owners succeed. That is my jam. And I love building systems out. It's so fun. In fact, I've had a number of people message me in the last little bit. And I want to try and find one of these, but a couple weeks ago, I was helping somebody build out a system. They have a huge list, like ginormous. And they haven't really had a way to effectively connect with their list in years. And so I've been helping them set up that system. And as I've been doing that, I got a message from somebody on their team. And basically she was just like, thank you so much. Like the way that your brain works with setting these systems up. I'm trying to find it, but I'll pull it up and show it to you tomorrow, just to show that like some people have a lot of strengths in one way or the other. And for me, for some reason, like I literally like think and dream about this kind of stuff like this. I love it. I love coming up with like that system. What is the system and how do I create it and make it better? And so super important that you own your list. What does that mean? That means that when you're creating content, you're not just creating content. You have the content has a purpose to it, right? And you are leading them into a list. The reason why it's so important to lead people into your list is because at any time, any of these platforms can go under. At any time, any of these social media sites can disappear. And if they disappear, your audience disappears unless you have put the time into building an email list. Now, if you have an email list, it's so much easier to do anything that you want with that, because you're not dependent on the algorithm, on the platform, on any of those things. And so we lead them into an email list, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do this week. We're actually going to build it out. So this boot camp is going to be very much a working boot camp where you can actually get some of my, we call them snapshots of exactly what I do. And that snapshot, you'll be able to put into a system and not have to rebuild build it from scratch. You can just use what I've got, which then leads to that next thing, which a lot of times if you're building an email list, it's on a platform that basically owns your email list. So, I talked about being owned by like your audience is owned by the different platforms. They could deplatform you at any time. When you pull your email list in, like, do you own that email list? And so I'm going to walk you through my very favorite program that allows you to own your own stuff. And it's called Go High Level. So if you want to start using Go High Level, you can actually use this link, summerschool.com, and it's SOMMERS/GHL. And I'm actually going to be teaching you through GHL. Now, everything I teach you can build on any platform. But if you want to get some of my personal snapshots, so you're not having to like build it out this week, this is what I'm going to be teaching you on GHL. And you'll be able to click a link. So if you sign up through this link, you'll be able to I'll send you a link and you'll get like whatever workflows, whatever funnels we're building out throughout this boot camp, and it will automatically drop into your GHL account, and you'll just have to put your logo on it, or maybe customize the email a little bit, but you're not going to have to build everything from scratch. These systems are already built, and so it should be super simple. Now, it's also September. So and I know a lot of my audience are network marketers, and a lot of our audience are actually doTERRA wellness advocates. And I actually have something so exciting because it is doTERRA's convention this month. And so I have built out a snapshot that I will tell you a little bit more about, that has over 1,000 assets between emails and funnels and things like that to use for your business. And I'm going to show you exactly how to get that and get access to the Influencers Academy. And then finally, your voice. You want to own your list, own your assets, and own your voice. A lot of times, if we align with a brand, like, you want to be very careful with signing up for brand deals so that you're not giving your voice away and you're not eliminating your options. Like when I went to Korea the last couple of weeks, a couple of the brand deals that reached out to me were like, okay, if you deal with us, that's it. Like, you cannot do anything else. Some of them, obviously, I don't want competing brand deals, but I also don't want them to like eliminate my ability to make money, especially in the future. And so we're going to be talking about some of the red flags that you're looking for when you are in a brand deal contract. And kind of what to go there. Also, some affiliate marketing best practices, and how to get those up and running, and even network marketing best practices. Now, I do not recommend ever doing competing things. It's like everything that I do, I try and find like one thing that I love in that particular niche, so that I'm not confusing my audience. I want them to know this is the brand that I recommend for this type of product, and this is the brand that I recommend for this type of product. And it does require some research, but it's easy to, like, once you learn how to do the research, you're good to go. And so I would love to actually hear in the comments, go ahead and put in the comments what types of products you're wanting to get brand deals for. Go ahead and put in the comments below, and then I can help you kind of walk through that. And maybe tomorrow and Wednesday, I'll go through and I'll answer some of those and give you some ideas as well. So yeah, super, super important to have that vision, the systems, and have ownership of your list, your assets, and your voice. When you step into a business owner mode, you stop asking for permission from the algorithm and you start writing your own paycheck. And that's the exciting part about all of this. And so I actually want to give you a challenge for today to get done before tomorrow. If you know me, you know I love homework. And so I want you to think through this and then come back and comment on this video. One shift you're committing to today that moves you from content creator to business owner. We've talked about like some of these different things like that are important: vision, systems, ownership. And I want you to think through, like, where are you in all of these things? Have you, do you have that vision? Are you somebody who, in fact, just the other day, I was chatting with somebody close to me, and they have been building, they started one channel, and after like a month, they were like, it's not really working. And so then they started another channel, and that one has gotten traction. But this other channel actually has started having traction because the content they created was great. It just takes time to get things going. And so they were like, well, I think I'm going to quit this channel and now go back to this channel. That is not it. Like, I told them, I was like, even if you're only uploading one video in each channel, it's like, you now have two channels and they're both getting views and they're both getting audience. It's like, don't give up on that. Don't keep pivoting. Have that vision of what you want to create. I would suggest, focusing in on one, and going all in on that until you can handle more than that. Like, obviously we've got multiple channels that we're doing now, but for the first 2 or 3 years, I literally had one channel. That was it. And that was enough to get me over the $1 million mark and over the $10 million mark in sales. Like, it was enough to get things rolling for us. And so you don't have to have thousands of subscribers. You don't have to have all these things, but you do need to have vision. You need to have commitment. You need to have systems in place, and you need to own your assets, your voice, and your email list. So if you come back tomorrow at noon, we're going to start going through that process. Today we're focusing in on the vision, the why, the one thing that you're going to change. I want you to put those comments in the comments below. Come back tomorrow and we will dive in to our next part. So if you found value in this, please give this video a thumbs up so the algorithm knows this is great content. Hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time I upload a live video or I go live. And like I said, comment below what help you need. Hit that GHL. Check it out. That's actually a summerschool.com/GHL will give you a 30-day free trial. So even if you're unsure if you want to start, GHL is $97 a month. Super inexpensive because it does everything you'll see this week. You're going to see that it does emails, it's your CRM, it does membership sites, it does all of those things, and you own your own content. You don't have to worry about any of that. And so check that out. You can get a 30-day free trial, and then you'll be able to go through this boot camp, get those snapshots, see how it works, and understand how to build out a system because you'll be building it alongside me. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye.